What would it mean to you to live your dream of fighting in the UFC?
Words can't even describe that. I'm training so hard. My game is coming along. I will be where I want to be. I'm 100% confident that I will make it to the top. I have the skills, I have the dedication, and it's something I really want. So words can't even describe, but it will happen, and I'll let you know when it happens.
Welcome to Case Closed TV. It's your boy Marin here, and on today's video we will be geeking out over what's in my mind at least the most anticipated fight in decades. However, before we go any further, I'm going to make it perfectly clear that I will not be taking either McGregor or Mayweather's side in this discussion. And with that being said, let's get into it. There is a reason why the saying styles make or break fights still stands strong today. This same reason is why fights like Ali Foreman, Tyson Holyfield and Jones Gustafsson are still remembered so vividly after all these years. When individuals are so insanely fine-tuned to literally kicking ass in their respective fields, what really makes them stand out from their counterparts is what makes them, them. The uniqueness of the little nuances they bring to the table makes all the difference in the world come fight night. Mayweather, regardless of whether you love him or hate him, is the best counterpuncher we've seen in boxing so far. The speed of every pivot and the precision with which he glides around punches is simply unmatched. The man has literally gone 49-0. To go out and beat 49 of the very best in a highly technical aspect of hand-to-hand combat is an amazing achievement. He has literally achieved everything there is to achieve in boxing. So why is this fight so interesting? Why do millions of people worldwide even entertain the notion of Mayweather fighting a person with zero professional boxing experience? I'll tell you why. Conor McGregor, with all the athletic gifts he has, brings three very specific credentials that Mayweather has simply never come across before in a fight, not to our knowledge anyway. The first and probably the most important of them all is the uniqueness he brings with his MMA background. The biggest difference apart from the obvious between mixed martial arts and boxing is the distance fighters engage from. Because of the comparatively vast engagement distances, fighters like Conor has had to adapt and come up with the unique angles, movements and techniques to cover this distance to land their attacks. Comparatively speaking, boxing is much more of a physically tightly contested sport. Every fight takes place from within, 2 arm spans of the athlete, whereas in MMA, because of the kicks, fights could take place with the fighters being well over 2 meters away from each other. Mayweather has never fought anyone that was so dominant in closing distance before. Not to this degree anyway. After all, Conor McGregor's bread and butter is closing distance to knock people out. This certainly is an advantage that simply cannot be ignored. And secondly, Conor's southpaw with a very heavy left arm. A left arm that has knocked out some of the baddest people on the planet. Historically speaking, as perfect as Mayweather's record has been, there has been some chinks in his armor that were exposed during his career. Out of all the opponents Mayweather has schooled, Zab Judah was the only one that was able to cause a real knockdown on Floyd. I know A plus B equals C logic is silly, but Judah was a southpaw that liked to engage from a bigger distance than the usual boxer. Guess what? Conor is a southpaw that is an expert at engaging from a distance. Yes, it's not the most convincing advantage, but it's a stylistic advantage nonetheless. And finally, with both individuals being as fast and fluid as they are in their movements, Conor does have a big size and reach advantage. McGregor walks around at 170 pounds after weigh-ins. Mayweather barely fills into the weight they are fighting. For anyone that has engaged in any martial arts before, you guys will know that this is not an advantage to be dismissed. For those who don't understand what I'm saying, think of it like this. A large, untrained person fighting a 49-0 boxer will never end well for the untrained person, but a seasoned elite martial artist, athlete that has a generous size advantage fighting the same boxer is a significantly different scenario. So what will happen come fight night? On the 26th of August, will Conor end one of the greatest streaks in boxing history? Will he be able to do the unthinkable? I personally don't think Conor will be able to win this fight trying to box one of the greatest boxers of all time. That's madness. His only real choice of winning will be to use his advantages in power, the previously mentioned experience in unique angles and engaging from a bigger distance, and his size/strength advantage. If Conor doesn't knock out Floyd within the first 3 to 4 rounds, before Mayweather has time to adapt to McGregor's style, Mayweather will simply outbox him and win on points. At the end of the day, I think it's foolish to disregard McGregor on the basis of him lacking pro boxing experience. After all, it only takes one solid punch to end a fight. Well, that's it from me at Case Closed TV today. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. There's plenty more to come from Case Closed TV.